We're out in Arizona driving the all-new GMC Hummer EV, the world's first all-electric super truck. The numbers that the Hummer brings are mind-boggling. It makes 1,000 horsepower, 11,500 wheel torque, which equates to 1,200 pound-feet at the motors. With Watts to Freedom mode, the launch control, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, which is crazy because this is a truck that weighs just over 9,000 pounds. All electric. It's pretty big. It makes me look small. It's wide, it's got presence. We've been doing some on-road driving. We got to check out Super Cruise coming here to this off-road trail, and we've done some off-roading up and down the trail, and it's really impressive what this can do. It's got E4-wheel drive, it's got differential lockers, it's got air suspension, allows it to vary its ride height, 13 inches of suspension travel all around, all sorts of different drive modes too. We've tried out off-road, terrain mode, which plays around with the brakes in terms of slowing it down. So you have one pedal driving, descending. You've got 18 different camera views to help you position this truck on the trails and on the road. And something that probably the most impressive thing is the rear wheel steering. So with four-wheel steering, you can both lengthen and shorten the wheelbase virtually. By turning the wheels opposite of the front wheels, this truck can kind of pivot its way around obstacles, make turns way tighter than I would expect, and you can feel it making a turn in off-road mode. The rear wheels will turn and it kind of moves the back end of the truck. It's crazy. Crab walk is something we've also experienced. Going up and down these trails, this thing made it seem easy. The torque, the ease of all the technology integrated into the Hummer, I am really, really impressed. So with that, we're gonna be driving up down the trail. I have some GoPro set up. We'll talk about what it's like to take the Hummer EV off-roading. All right, so we're on the trail. We've got Chad from the GMC team here. We've ran this up and down once, so familiar and learning all the various tech features, the capability of this truck. I'm already so impressed, dude.
You like it?
I like it. I like it. I like it more than I thought I would. I thought the 0 to 60 or the Watts to Freedom would be a lot of fun, and off-roading I'd be like, okay, this is cool, but I am so impressed with the rear wheel steering. I think that's my biggest takeaway. The air suspension, the power is really cool, but the rear wheel steering, it's hard to describe the feeling. I guess I'm supposed to kind of describe the feeling because that's what you do when I review cars. But the rear end of the truck will pivot almost, and when you're making a U-turn, it does it tighter than you expect it to. Crab walk is a bizarre feeling because you turn the wheel and the whole truck just kind of angles, like parallel away. It's really, really cool.
It really is, and you are not alone. We've been hearing a lot, especially in this drive, with regards to the benefit of four-wheel steer on an off-road situation. Obviously, comes very much in handy in parking as well, in a vehicle of this size,
yes,
but in these dimensions. But off-roading, you can see you really turn on a dime.
Yeah. When
we got up there to the Vista, you didn't really have to do a 3-point turn.
I thought I was going to, and Chad was like, nope, keep going. I flipped a U-turn in a space that even a little family sedan, you probably have to do a 3-point turn.
Yes.
And you can see it working, like watching the trucks in front of us go. You'll see as they turn the front steering wheel, the rear wheels are moving up to 10 degrees, and the ratio actually changes depending on the mode you're in. If you're in just regular off-road, it's like 1 to 0.6 or something like that,
right,
and it actually goes way over when you're in terrain. It's 1 to 1.2, so up to 10 degrees, right? You're not going to get the same amount of turn on the rear wheels. That would be crazy. But even 10 degrees of turn is, like, I can see it in front of me. The truck right now has the rear wheels kind of turned in as it's negotiating through some of these obstacles. It's so cool, and you can actually genuinely feel it. In terms of the other aspects, air suspension, I mentioned that, adjustable height. We're just been driving in regular mode right now, I believe, but up to 13 inches of suspension travel. There's an extraction mode, which goes to, I think, 16 inches of
16
total?
inches. You go from 10 stock up to 16.
Which
right?
is a lot.
Which is kind of like, hey, I'm high-centered, you know. I need to get out.
Yeah.
And so that's when you would use it. You can leverage it in lower speeds, obviously, because you know, you're
You don't want that.
Yeah.
You can't go into that at freeway speeds.
Correct.
That would not be allowed.
correct. But it's, you know, so that is a helpful feature. People have been asking us, Eddie, too. Okay, so you guys talk about crab walk a lot, crab
Yeah.
walk, crab. So that obviously has applications for like certain parking situations
Yep.
as well as
Parallel parking.
parallel parking.
Yep.
But in off-road, we had to use it the other day, right? Somebody had dropped the passenger rear wheel.
Okay.
Didn't have traction. They were a little bit high-centered, and they couldn't really go forward. They needed to go to the side. Activated. They were in terrain mode. Activated crab walk,
Yeah.
and then just moved parallel.
Oh, that would have been
and
awesome
got
to
out of it.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so all of these are functional.
Yes.
Obviously, they're also cool to show to your friends. But in an off-road situation, really, really helpful.
The functionality of this truck really is impressive. We've got 2 sets of locking differentials. It's a actual e-locker up front, and then it's a virtual one in the back because we've got tri-motor. 1 in front, 2 in the back.
Right.
E4-wheel drive. I mentioned the air suspension. Also, since this was designed from the ground up as a bespoke platform, we're going to terrain mode here.
Terrain mode, if that's okay
Yes,
here.
absolutely. You get really short front and rear overhangs. So, I mean, we haven't scraped the front end. Terrain mode changes up a bunch of things. It actually uses the friction brakes to help you with descent. So we're actually approaching one of the more tight little obstacles we have on this trail. And we've got a spotter down there. We'll pull up all the cameras. We have 18 different camera views underneath the truck, in front, the side corners to see where the wheels are. And as I was mentioning, terrain mode will actually use the friction brakes to help you slow your descent. Kind of controlled one pedal driving. All right, we'll go straight.
And you can just see there how your rear overhang,
Yeah.
really your departure, no problem at all.
That was so impressive to be able to. It makes that easy.
It does.
I would be so out of my depth if I didn't have all these features. Obviously, a spotter and everything. I would just be like, I'm lost. I'm stuck. Help. The capabilities of this truck, again, I'm continuously impressed. We've got the roof panels off, which is pretty awesome. So it's
And you saw the process. That was what?
so easy.
Less than a minute.
Oh yeah. Open up the e-trunk, and there's these kind of styrofoam foam trays that are designed to hold the different panels. So there's 4 of them, and they're labeled, so you know which one goes where. And you just pop 2 latches, and off it goes. And we've had a convertible experience the entire afternoon. It is getting dusty.
You can drop the rear glass as well.
Yes, the entire rear glass panel drops. We've got a digital rear view camera too, which I'm just looking at 2 of the giant spares in the back. There's so many things to mention and talk about with this truck. More specifically, in terms of off-road capability, the fact that we just took the trucks that we were driving yesterday and we took on the freeway, and now we're doing this with no modifications, didn't air down the tires,
Nope.
nothing. We just went. I could take this and get on pavement and do 0 to 60 in probably low 3 seconds because the tires are dusty. But it's a 1,000 horsepower super truck that can do pretty much everything.
That's right. Yeah, and that's truly why we call it a super truck. You know, it's just tremendous performance on and off road.
It's big. It's in the world of EVs. It's not the most efficient of the EVs, but you're getting a Halo product that provides that power, the performance. Like, forget compromise. And like, we're not gonna try to eke out every little electron for efficiency here. It'll still do 329 miles on a full charge, on 800 volts DC fast charging. That'll do 100 miles in 12 minutes.
About 12 minutes.
That's good. We've been driving pretty much all day since early this morning. We've still got 219 miles of range. And I mean, we're running air conditioning. I was running my cooled seat. Let's turn that on.
That sounds like a good
Yeah,
idea.
it's getting
right
toasty. I'm not going to complain. It's snowing back in Chicago, so.
Yeah, no, but to your point about efficiency, right? We said, hey, this is our first Ultium product.
Yes.
And long gone are the days of a science project compliance electric vehicle, right?
Yeah.
We want to do something that excited people.
Yep.
And this was our opportunity to do it. And, you know, we are seeing of the 66 plus thousand people that have made reservations for this, for the SUV,
Yep.
you know, 70% of them have never owned an EV. 73% of them own a pickup truck right now.
Okay.
So really what this is doing is when you have a vehicle that has the capability that this does
Yeah.
in an electric package, you know, I think we're going to see a lot of skeptics come into the EV fold. And you have to do that
Yeah.
in order to convince them.
At no point while driving this Hummer have I gone, oh, I wish it had a gas engine. Like, why does this not have an LT1? Because it does everything it needs to do. And honestly, if it's a sports car, I want a Z06. We were talking about that earlier.
Right.
Because the noise of that flat plane
Sure.
crank V8 is addicting. But here, off-roading, like, that's fine. It was actually kind of serene. We were all stopped waiting for some trucks to go through an obstacle, and it was just silence.
Yeah.
And it was peaceful.
Yeah.
And you've got all that low-end torque, the response, the ability to have some finesse and not have to deal with transmissions and all sorts of transfer cases and everything like that.
Yeah.
To put the power down,
Yeah.
you get more control. Packaging, we already mentioned that. They had an Ultium platform on display. It's like a skateboard, so super low center of gravity, nice and compact, protected underneath. And then I mentioned the overhangs, which helps there too. So this will underpin all sorts of things, right? Like the Silverado
It will.
EV, and yeah.
It will. It will. Yeah. The Ultium basically is a modular platform.
Okay.
So not just the number of modules that you have in your battery pack, but also the configuration of your motors.
Gotcha.
Do you want, you know?
Just two dual.
Two-
There's a dual motor Hummer coming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
A little bit lower priced.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's different variants. This one is, you know, comes loaded with everything and does come with a 3-motor, right? 2 in the back and 1 in the front, but there's going to be others coming where you just have 2 in the back. So really modular technology that is going to underpin a bunch of different vehicles for General Motors. Even the SUV comes with a 20 module battery pack versus a 24. Like
Oh,
this
okay.
one.
So that's why it's like 800-ish horsepower, I think, versus
Exactly.
the whole 1,000.
Exactly. But the essence of the chemistry of the
Yeah.
batteries is the same.
Okay.
It truly, take it off the shelf,
Pull
boom.
a couple off.
What
It's
motor
like
do you
building
want?
Legos.
It's like building Legos.
Legos, just with lots of electrons.
Yeah.
These are powerful machines, and it's really cool to see. We've got, I think, 9 on the trail right now. Just seeing them
Yeah.
crawl all over the place. Like the rear wheels turning is such a cool sight. It's big and heavy, I won't deny that, but it doesn't feel it. So a lot of people made a lot of noise, and I myself was like, wait, it's 9,000 pound curb weight?
Yeah.
But everything, the technology, I mean, you were mentioning earlier, it was designed from the ground up with this in mind.
Yeah.
The engineers knew it wasn't going to be a little lightweight thing that all of a sudden, like, hey, surprise, extra 3,000 pounds.
And from the beginning, they planned for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It also, right, 329 miles.
That's plenty.
That is plenty. It's more than R1T, more than the
Yes.
F-150, and with that comes a bigger battery pack.
Yes.
More weight.
But I mean, it's not like the R1T is a lightweight either. That thing is 8,000 pounds, I believe, something in that range. So EVs are heavy. Even normal cars are heavy. The brand new Audi RS6 and RS7 has a 5,000 pound curb weight. That's a car.
Right.
So
Yeah, but this, to your point, you know, these are robust brakes.
Yeah.
Really tremendous stopping distance that you experienced yesterday.
absolutely, we did Watts to Freedom, full launch control where it squats and just goes,
And then stood on the
then
brakes.
full hard on the brakes, and it came to a stop. Very great
Yeah.
stopping distances.
But the steering efforts, the four-wheel steer really does make it feel like
Yeah.
a nimble vehicle, to your point.
It's nimble. Driving it doesn't feel like you're in a tank. It actually drives pretty normal on the road and stuff like that. It's got pretty imposing styling. And then off we go.
So right now we're hitting a wash, and great environment to exercise. A little bit faster speeds.
Yep.
Kind of our Baja mode.
Yes.
Um,
The air suspension is really well tuned where it absorbs a lot of the little undulations and stuff. Not a lot of head toss. You're not like giving yourself whiplash.
Yep.
Independent control. There's a widget, off-road stuff that shows your individual wheel articulation. Allows the thing to stay relatively composed while you're going through some pretty gnarly terrain.
Yep.
So yeah, the intent of this video is the off-road aspect, because obviously we are off-road, climbing a mountain up. It's been a lot of fun. We did the on-road drive. I did a walk-around video talking about some of the more specific details, showing you guys the interior and exterior.
We may not have talked about the tires and wheels, or maybe we did, but these are beefy 35s on an 18-inch wheel. Can add a 37 size wheel. The engineers prepared for that from the beginning.
37s would be impressive. Oh. It just puts the power down and you go. Oh man. I really hope a lot of owners actually will take them off-roading like this.
Yeah,
because that's where you experience the capabilities of it and what this thing was designed to do. On road, yes, wants the freedom, it's a party piece. Crab walk, I'm sure we're going to see so many Cars and Coffee videos of people doing crab walk all over the place. But to actually take this thing here, maybe go to the dunes, do some rock crawling, for a stock package, this is impressive.
Yeah, we do see, talk to some of our customers that have made some of the initial orders, and we do see a significant number of them that have said, hey, I am going to use this at least once a year to do something like that.
Okay.
30% said absolutely at least once a month.
Okay.
So that's encouraging.
That's very encouraging. Dude, just like that turn we made there, the way the truck just pulled it right around was so cool. And it's very well composed here. We're getting a little bit more speed. Oh. Shortcut. I think it went around that way too.
No, you're fine.
In terms of pricing, all the initial ones are first editions, hence first edition.
Yeah.
And they're just under $110,000.
110, 295.
Okay, it's just over.
Yeah.
In that form, they come pretty well optioned. Has everything. Cameras, air suspension, all the capability.
Correct.
You can spec some like interior color, I think, differences, trim.
No, this is
all are white black?
This is the color for the edition 1.
Exterior trim colors you can spec.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, there's some with red accents, some had the tech bronze. It's like a bronzish gold.
That's right.
A lot of accessories. We've got full-size spares in the back, 2 of them in the bed.
Yeah, we also have other trims that are coming now that people can reserve now. The next one that comes is the 3X.
Okay.
Which is slotted right underneath this one in terms of capability. You can absolutely content that one
up to here
to be like this one.
Okay, just without like the first edition badge.
Correct.
Is that also going to be tri-motor?
You can make it tri-motor.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
So you can configure the powertrain effectively. That's cool. So I guess if you want to talk about value, I usually try to discuss the value of every vehicle. For being the world's first electric super truck, you really don't have a direct competitor per se.
No.
The Rivian R1T is going to be a natural comparison people are going to draw because it is an electric pickup truck, but it doesn't bring some of the capabilities of this. It's kind of, I don't know, I haven't driven one yet, but the Hummer has kind of a bigger halo effect in my opinion in terms of just the capabilities and stuff it can do. In terms of specs, this outguns everything. Even the upcoming, like the Ford Lightning is not really in comparison because it makes like half the power. It'll cost less, obviously, but again, just not a super truck.
Yeah, we have other vehicles in the GM family that are coming that would be more comparable to those, right?
Yeah.
You have a Silverado, have a Sierra coming.
Yep.
But to your point, this one really lives in a league of its own.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of, let's talk about power output, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that it's a convertible pickup truck. Let's talk about it's just...
I forgot this is 1,000 horsepower. To be driving 1,000 horsepower vehicle just casually that's 4 digits. I mean, that's a big deal. And we're just kind of glossing over it. Goes, yeah, it makes 1,000 horsepower. NBD. And we've been off-roading it. So we have a 12.3-inch center cluster here, which has a lot of really cool graphics and info. The one here is 13.4 inches and pulls up all our camera views, or when we go through the different drive modes, the animations are epic. Tow haul has the truck pulling like a Saturn V rocket. Normal looks like we're just driving on the moon normally. And then going through my mode, off-road looks like we're on Mars. And then terrain, you're crawling through some serious lunar-based terrain. We talk about a bit more of kind of why there's so much of the moon space-themed stuff in our other videos, so make sure you check out that one too. I'm gonna pull the cameras back up, and we are in terrain mode. Yep. So after getting the off-road the Hummer EV fairly extensively here, my takeaways are this truck is so capable. The tech, the functionality, everything. Rear wheel steering is one of my new favorite features, and it's something everybody has to experience because it's so cool. It makes a big truck manageable. The power is awesome. Watts to Freedom is hilarious. It looks badass. It's got the presence. It's got the interior tech. It's got a price tag to match it. But for that, you're getting a true electric super truck that I've spent the last couple hours off-roading in Arizona. This has been so much fun. Thank you, Chad, to you and the whole GMC team.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I am looking forward to getting more and more time with the Hummer EV, and to all 66,000 plus people who have one reserved, you're going to enjoy this thing. I can guarantee you that. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out the on-road drive. We talk about all sorts of things too, and also the walk-around video.